We're on page 21 of the textbook. We're still dealing with the letter L. If you look at this L, it's a lowercase l, so it's the harder L. And it may sound as a vowel if it's at the end of the word. So let me read these words. Apple, Lidl, Mittel. So there's a almost invisible S sound that's introduced between the letter that is second from the last, which immediately precedes L. So Apple, Lidl, Mittel. And the same thing can happen with the letter N. So Losen, Gassen, Lachen, Proeven, Aventen. Again, Losen, Lachen, Losen, Gassen, Lachen, Proeven, Aventen. It sounds a little bit like a vowel, and it becomes a syllable of its own. It becomes like a separate syllable. So, and you can see it's separated by dashes here. So these are 2-syllable words. And the last one is 3-syllable. 2 syllables, 2 syllables, and 3 syllables. The letter R is called Reish in Yiddish. So this letter is called Reish. There are 2 Reish sounds in Yiddish. One is Reish and the other one is Reish. So one is more trilled, and that is Reish, and the other one is more lingual, that is Reish. The second one is has more of a Slavic sound to it. So let me read these words here at the bottom. First with the first type of Reish. It's Rechen, Lehrer, Schener, Mehrer, Frier. And now the second type of Reish. Rechen, Lehrer, Schener, Mehrer, Frier. There is no rule when you use one or the other. It's more dialectic. It depends on the dialect, but perhaps there are some words where you would prefer to use one or the other, actually depending on the position of that reish. But if you can just pick one, whichever one works for you, and it's fine. So these ones are pretty much interchangeable, and let's just work with that assumption that they are interchangeable. And the Yiddish vowels, I'm just going to read this. It's mich, himmel, im, lid, yid, Yiddish. So it's very close to the E sound, and what the book is saying is it's a medium length and tenseness between the E of feet and the E of fit. So this mich is actually closer to fit. Mich, fit. Fit, mich. The other one's lid is closer to feet, except feet may be a little bit of a longer sound. Feet, and here it's lid. Lid, yid, Yiddish. The S sound, besser, kennen, Zimmer, bet, wenn. A sound, mame, Wasser, Land, Gassen. Note that this word land, it's written land, but it's pronounced land. There's a T sound on the end, it's not a D sound. Montig, Lomer, Professor, noch. The U sound, mume, nu, kumen, musen. If a vowel is at the beginning of the word, it's not preceded by a glottal stop, so you don't make a pause before the vowel. Let me read this. Was is, aber. Was is, aber. So here you have 3 different words. Was is, and there are no breaks between them. So because they're not the beginning, these vowels r, and e is r and is, they, because they're at the beginning of the word, they kind of just merge all into one big string. Wasser is, and here abach, habach or abach, depending on the dialect, and we'll talk about dialects later. Let's talk about stresses in Yiddish. As a general rule, they fall on the second syllable from the last. However, they must be memorized word by word also. So let's read this. Zusammen, Europe, Silber, Affen. Note with the last word, it looks like there's only one syllable, but it's actually two syllables, because we talked about n being syllabic at the end of the word, so it's Affen. For the purposes of the textbook, if no stress is indicated by this little accent mark, then you can just assume that the stress falls on the second syllable from the last. So it's bekennen, geworden, Italia, Anthropologia, and so on. Here you see it's a uppercase L, so it's a softer L, Italia, not Itali. Well, you can't actually pronounce it any other way, so it's Italia. If the stress falls on a syllable that is not second from the last, it will be indicated in this textbook. Afrika, Amerika, versteh, here's the last syllable, gewen, again the last syllable, azoi, again the last syllable, not azoi, which you would assume from the rule that we mentioned before, that it falls on the second syllable from the last. So the book will indicate where the accent is if it falls outside that rule. If a word is changed through the addition of prefixes or suffixes or endings, the stress usually follows the stem, the original word. So let's take a look. Silber, Silberner. It doesn't become Silberner, as you would assume with the second syllable from the last. It still stays where it stayed in the original. So it's Silber, Silberner. Atmen, geatemt. Versteh, verstehen. It doesn't move. However, when it does move, it will be indicated by the stress symbol. Talmud, Talmidim, Chosen, Chasanim. Note that these words, Talmud, Talmidim, and Chosen, Chasanim, they're of Hebraic origin, and perhaps this is something to keep in mind, that in words of Hebraic origin the stress does shift. In words of Germanic and Slavic origin, perhaps it doesn't shift. So keep in mind that whenever there is a stress indicated in the book, it's exception to the rule. The rule is it's the second syllable from the last.